should I be doing plant medicines? Should I be using plant medicines? That is something that comes up a lot, and I've been thinking about it lately because of a recent conversation that I had. So this is something I've been thinking about for years and years and years, so it's not just something off of the top of my head I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to share some of my own personal insights, and they may resonate with some people, they may not resonate with some people, and I really do believe there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to this. So what are plant medicines? So you can consider something like weed a plant medicine, mushroom, psilocybin, ayahuasca, peyote. There's all these different types of plant medicines that have different, that can elicit different reactions in people. Some are more intense than others. Some are more traditionally used ceremoniously than others. And plant medicines have been used for thousands and thousands of years by indigenous cultures. For example, in the Amazon, the Peruvian Amazon, they've been doing ayahuasca ceremonies for generations and generations and generations. So even things like tobacco leaves, like they smoke tobacco, they use the tobacco leaves. The more common things that we do now are like, drink, at least the legal things are drinking alcohol and smoking cigarettes, but, altering your mind state, getting into a different mind state is not something that is brand new to humanity, or, it's not just within the past, like, couple hundred years. It's been a concept for a very, very long time. As I said before, my opinion is that there is no right or wrong answer for every single person. Every single person has their own journey. There's some people who may choose to never, ever, 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 ever do a mind-altering substance, not even caffeine, and that is completely their choice. That is completely their path, and like nobody can look at someone else's path and judge their path, because everyone has their own experiences, and we can really only determine what's right or wrong for us. We can't look at someone else and determine what's right or wrong for them. Sometimes people ask me, like, I don't know if I should be smoking weed as much as I do, or, should I stop smoking weed, or doing this or that? And sometimes your question has the answer in it. So maybe if you are asking yourself, should I stop smoking weed? Maybe your answer is already there. Maybe you already have your answer. So they're definitely not right for everyone. And it's up to, everyone to decide what works for them and what's not going to work for them. And if they don't feel called to do something, or if they do feel called to do something, don't let anybody influence you one way or another. If a friend had this amazing plant medicine journey with, for example, like ayahuasca or peyote or something, and they're trying to convince you to do it, if you don't want to do it, then obviously don't do it. But if it's been something that you do feel called to do, like you have been feeling called to do, then maybe you could look more into it and get more information about what you want to get yourself into. Plant medicines are not the only way to shift your perspective. Obviously, there's so many other ways to shift your perspective and to begin to see things, maybe through a different lens, maybe seeing things through your heart instead of being so much in our minds, because society conditions us to, to live a certain way. Like, we go through the education system, we learn things a certain way, we all learn it the same way, even though we have different unique abilities, where we're all kind of put in this little box. And it can kind of be mind-numbing for us, to go through the education system, and even, if you're going to college, continue that system, and you're basically trained to become an employee, and, you go through life, and, some people, they go through the steps of life and do the things that they think they're supposed to do. And some people realize that maybe there's more to this. Some people don't, and some people just keep, going along the same patterns. But maybe that pattern that you're living, maybe that is the right way for you, and that's the highest and best way for you. But maybe you realize that it's not. So anyway, that was really a tangent. But I'm gonna go back to having different ways to shift your perspective. One of the coolest ways to shift your perspective is travel. I've done a lot of international travel, and I think that can really get us out of our box. It can get us to see things in a different way, because we're not, we don't have the things that we're used to back home. So I think travel is a huge one. We're meeting new people, we're eating new foods, we're in a new place, and I think that can definitely shift your perspective. Of course, I also think that there could be an addiction factor with that as well. Like, I think that it's not just like substances that people can get addicted to, but people can get addicted to a lot of different things. But anyway, travel is a great way to shift your perspective. Another really good way to shift your perspective is meditation. So you don't need any, no one really needs, like, I'm going to go ahead and say no one really needs to use any mind altering substances if they're able to practice meditation. Because what meditation will do, if you have the discipline and if you just, you're not going to get it, you're probably not going to get it on the first time. You're probably not really going to tap in and experience, things that you've never felt before, or, get yourself tapped in and get yourself calm and let go of your mind. That may not happen in your first sitting. It may not happen in your second sitting. It may not happen in your 10th sitting. But what meditation does, it teaches you how to have that discipline so you are able to, relax and start to let go of the mind and come back into the body. And that's what a lot of plant medicine does. It allows us to come back into the body. It allows us to go inwards. And going inward, then you'll start to... then you can have like certain experiences that you've never felt before. So everyone's journey is going to be different. And even another way to shift your perspective is just, trying new things, like going hiking, meeting new people. There's so many different ways, and plant medicine is not, the right way for everyone. So I follow a woman named Gigi Young on social media, and I subscribe to her website that she has because she does live Q&As, and she has like more exclusive content on that, and that speaks a lot, or that's a lot for me to pay to subscribe to someone, but I just like her that much. Like, I've been following her for several years. Her information really resonates with me, and I think she's really genuine. She's really authentic. She's not one of the more weller known people who are technically considered spiritual influencers, but she just really resonated with me. I actually don't resonate with a lot of the, those spiritual type of influencer people. I do like people I like Joe Dispenza. I love his work. And I also, I like to follow like Marissa Peer and just other people who are doing really good work around shifting your perspective and your belief system. So I think those are some really good things. But anyway, so back to Gigi Young, something that she said about substances or, plant medicines, or even something like alcohol. You could even do this with cigarettes, but you could really just go, before you reach for that thing, you could ask yourself, what am I trying to achieve by using that? Say you like to drink socially. So you could ask yourself, what emotion am I trying to elicit, or what behavior am I trying to elicit out of myself? And I think for a lot of people, it could be that, maybe alcohol makes them feel a bit more looser. Maybe they're just more comfortable in expressing themselves in ways that they can't do, or that they haven't been able to do when their mind is too active. So maybe, there's things like that. So a way to kind of get the, if you wanted to train yourself to not have to use that substance, you can kind of get into trying to use your own free will to activate whatever you wanted that plant medicine to activate in you. I think something that we do have to be careful of, I think it's fine to use plant medicine ceremoniously and occasionally, but I think with anything, it can become an addiction. And if people are starting to reach for it, to escape, on the daily, to be able to deal with certain emotions that they don't want to feel, I think that can be not good. So that's something worth looking at. However, with that being said, if plant medicine is something that prevents you from having to use a prescription drug with lots of side effects, or if it prevents you from experiencing chronic pain, that is so much power to you for having that available. I think there's so many good things that can come out of it, but with anything, it's just not just black and white. It's just not all good for everyone, all bad for everyone, and we all have to find that happy medium in what works and what we feel that is right for us. I personally see plant medicine as more of a teacher. So what a teacher can do is that a teacher can show us different insights. It can show us different perspectives. A teacher can, teach us how to have certain behaviors because we can see things in a different way. So it's good to have a teacher, but at the same time, you don't want to carry your teacher around all day with you. You don't want to, every day having to need your teacher to point you the way. And this is an abstract concept that I'm talking about. So what I mean is that, say you've had a really good experience, with weed. I'll use that for an example. And say, you just felt so relaxed, you felt so comfortable, you felt so happy. and you want to get back to that feeling, you know, so you just keep reaching for it over and over and over again every day because you just want to get back to that feeling. Well, you know, we all do have free will, and we can use our free will to get back to that feeling. We can generate our emotions, and we can come back to that experience. So I'm going to clarify what I meant by, you know, we all have our free will that we could use in order to generate the emotions that we wanted to experience while we used whatever substance that we did. So we all have the ability to generate our own emotions within us. That's why, to me, meditation has been so helpful. It's been something that, you know, just taught me that, you know, you do have the power to shift yourself. So yeah, it's really a daily practice. You know, if you want to experience more calmness, more relaxation, you know, there's things you can do. You can, you know, create an environment that's more peaceful for you. You can go to a peaceful environment, you know, regularly. You can also just, you know, create that feeling of peace inside of you and just call that in. Like, even if you do have a lot of stressful things around you, you can just come back and just, you know, use your breath. So breathing in, and you can hold it and then exhale, release, and just, you know, doing things like following your breath or coming back to your body. So you can do things that are healthy behaviors so that you don't have to use the substances over and over again to try to get yourself back to that place. With all those things being said, everyone's journey is going to look completely differently, and there is no right or wrong. There's no shaming anybody for doing anything or living their life how they're living their life, because we can't like look at someone else and we can't just judge, you know, what someone else is going through. We can't judge what they should or shouldn't be doing. We can only really be responsible for ourselves. We can only really feel what's right or wrong for ourselves internally. So good luck on your journey, and just have fun with what you're doing, and hopefully you learn what works the best for you. So I was going to edit the video, and I just wanted to add one more thing that I thought was important in making a video like this. And that's something to consider, is that when you are using substances to alter your state of mind, to alter your consciousness, you also accept the consequences of what that could bring. So when you use substances to get in a different state of mind, you don't have as much control over what you're exposing yourself to. So you just have to keep that in mind when you do it. And I just thought that was important to add. So thanks so much for watching the video.